Wagons here in the United States are no longer as popular as they used to be. In fact, there's only a small handful of brand new wagons you can choose from now. The popularity of minivans, SUVs, and crossovers make them the ultimate family vehicle now, which have led to the demise of wagons. However, Volkswagen thinks that they can bring a little market share back into the segment with its SportWagen. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Volkswagen Golf SportWagen. Now, even though crossovers are the prime choice for a family vehicle nowadays, there are some advantages to having a wagon over a much larger crossover. First is typically higher fuel economy numbers, and this Golf SportWagen actually earns up to 35 miles per gallon. And then also, you have a lower center of gravity in a wagon. It's much easier to maneuver than a much larger crossover. Now, as far as styling goes on the Golf SportWagen here, it's kind of conservative looking with big halogen headlights. We don't even have projectors. However, on higher end trim levels, you can get LED daytime running lights. Now, the Golf SportWagen is also, of course, based off of the Golf hatchback, and you have many styling cues of the Golf hatchback here. Now, ours is an S trim, and we get these okay looking 15-inch alloy wheels, pretty conservative looking. And overall, the exterior design of the SportWagen is pretty handsome. Now, here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's a pretty high quality looking key fob. We also do have a switchblade key, which is a nice little touch there. You also do have your remote keyless entry, unlock your lock to release your trunk, and then your panic button. Now, it is the platinum gray metallic exterior color. I actually really like this color on the SportWagen here. And you do have a Titan black cloth interior. You also do have power recline and manual driver's seat adjustments. Now, one advantage to having a wagon over a larger crossover is the much lower step-in height. It's very car-like in its step-in height, of course. Now, the cabin design of the SportWagen is very handsome. It's pretty stylish, especially for a fairly basic trim. But this vehicle also starts around $23,000, so kind of expect a little bit of a nicer cabin. Now, to start the vehicle, you actually have to put your foot on the brake and then turn the key, which is pretty interesting. I don't know why Volkswagen does it. And what you're hearing there is a 1.8 liter turbo 4-cylinder, full leather wrapped steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic transmission. You also do have manual shiftability as well. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera with guidance lines. No trajectory, however. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the hazards. And turn on the lights too. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. LED turn signal indicators integrated onto the mirrors. "15-inch alloy wheels. Coming to the front of the vehicle, you have halogen headlights with halogen daytime running lights. Like I said, LED daytime running lights are optional on higher end trim levels. Now, under the hood here, we have your base powertrain, which is a 1.8 liter turbo 4-cylinder that produces 170 horsepower at 4,500 RPM and 199 pound-feet of torque at 1,600 RPM, with EPA estimates being 25 in the city and 35 on the highway. Now, if you go for the 5-speed manual transmission, you can get 36 on the highway according to EPA estimates. Now, it is front-wheel drive, but one thing that you can't get on the SportWagen is all-wheel drive. Many crossovers do offer all-wheel drive. That is one disadvantage to having the SportWagen. Overall, this 1.8 liter four-cylinder does make plenty of power and does provide decent fuel efficiency. But if you want better fuel efficiency, then you can go with the 2 liter turbo four-cylinder diesel engine. You do have roof rails on the top right here. Coming to the rear, you have a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster, LED third brake light, and rear reflectors at the bottom. EPA estimates, like I said, are 25 in the city and 35 on the highway. Total vehicle price, you're looking at $23,815. Of course, all of your basic powered features, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. Now let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Now the interior of the SportWagen feels very solid, and build quality and materials are excellent inside of here. The interior of the SportWagen also feels pretty upscale, especially on higher end trim levels. Now even on this base trim, we do get this nice aluminum looking like trim. I really love it. It definitely spices up things inside of here and doesn't give it such an austere look or kind of feeling. But the interior of the SportWagen is very nice. Now coming to the Stairwell Design, love the new Stairwell Design language on Volkswagens. I love this gloss looking like trim that you get on the steering wheel too. Just flares up things a little bit here. Now coming right here, you have your cruise control, and then steering wheel mounted audio controls, voice recognition, and Bluetooth phone controls. Adaptive cruise control is also optional on the SportWagen. There's many optional safety technologies that you can get. You also do have a manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Really good range of adjustment on the telescoping. Coming up here, we also do have a manually dimming rear view mirror, LED map lights, sunglass container, and your SOS safety connect. Down here we have dual cup holders and a 12 volt power outlet, and your e-brake is also located right here too. Coming to the center console, it is nice and soft touch, it's wrapped in cloth. And then you have another 12 volt power outlet down there. The center console storage is a little on the small side. I have to say it can be a little bit better. Coming to the AC controls, very simple and clean looking layout. Really can't get any simpler than this with big knobs and buttons here. Now you have your temperatures right here and your fan speeds, of course, and then your different zones and your recycling, and then to turn it off too. Coming to the gauges and the instrument cluster here, pretty easy to read. You have full instrumentation for the gauges. Right on the left we have your tachometer and then your coolant temperature. On the right we have your speedometer and then your fuel gauge too. Now we also do have a little information center right here. Now there is a much more vibrant looking information center, but this gets the job done very well. Now it's controlled from the buttons on your steering wheel. Basically, it shows you various amounts of vehicle information from your driving data. It shows you your fuel range, exterior temperature readout down here, your trip odometer, integrated compass, and then your digital clock and your what gear you're into. Gives you your vehicle status, and then shows you what radio station is playing or what song is playing. You can change your different sources from here. Then you have your telephone. You can call someone from right here too, or hang up. Overall, love this little information center. It provides a decent amount of information, but if you want a more vibrant looking information center, you will have to step up to the higher end trim levels on the SportWagen. Now down here is also where you will find a USB charging port and an auxiliary input, and a decent amount of storage too. Now coming to the infotainment system and the multimedia interface, just a couple years ago, Volkswagen used to have one of the worst touchscreen interfaces in the business, but now that's a completely different story. This is one of the best in the business now. And this is a pretty nice looking system for a base radio. I'm very impressed. The graphics and the rendering are superb too. Now coming to your different media sources, we have all of the norms: CD player, USB port with iPod integration, auxiliary input, SD card slot, and your Bluetooth streaming audio too. The responsiveness of the touchscreen is also excellent. And then coming to your band right here, you could change your different radio sources from AM, FM, Series XM satellite radio. What's also pretty cool is that you can kind of swipe like this, like a tablet, for what preset you want to. And then you have iTunes tagging, of course, all that good stuff. Coming to phone, you can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here. And then you have your voice.
Pardon?
Tune to 101.1 FM.
Preset 11.
Pretty cool there. You can change your radio station from voice too. Over here we also do have your mute button for the sound, and then there's your sound settings that you could change from the bass, mid-range, treble, balance and fader if you want the touchscreen tone off or on. And then coming to car, it gives you your vehicle status. Right now I have to refuel, it says. Then you have your tire pressure monitoring system. I really just love the graphics and the rendering. This is a really nice system for a base radio. And then coming to menu, you have your App Connect. And then you can download apps and stuff like that. And then you have your Android Auto and your Apple CarPlay system on here, which is new. Then you have your images. And there's sound settings, of course. I really love how you could swipe like this, like a tablet. And it's very natural feeling. Now, overall, I really love this touchscreen radio interface, this multimedia interface. It's certainly one of the best in the business now. It's an excellent system. Now, as far as visibility goes in the SportWagen, visibility is pretty good. It's pretty easy to see out of the front windows. Seeing throughout the windshield is pretty easy too, and the dashboard doesn't extend too far out. Now, when you get to rearward visibility, it's kind of hard to see back there, but many trims will have a backup camera on the SportWagen. Now, driving the SportWagen here, the powertrains are very fuel efficient and pretty powerful, and that's the best thing about driving the Golf here, is that you don't need more power. It provides ample amounts of power for you, and with decent fuel efficiency, which is nice. The ride quality in the SportWagen is also fairly nice. It's a little on the firm side, but should be comfortable for most people. And then also the handling and the steering on the Golf here, it's definitely its expertise. It's very fun to drive. It's pretty precise. You really feel for where the vehicle is trying to go, and it's very responsive. This 6-speed automatic transmission also works very smoothly with this 1.8 liter turbo 4-cylinder. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Now, the SportWagen Golf could have easily been called the Golf XL or the Golf EL for extended length, as it provides 12.1 inches extra in overall length over the Golf hatchback, and then also provides 33% more cargo space. Now, to fold the rear seats down, you just pull on these levers right here and the seats will fold flat. It's a pretty easy mechanism. And then you also do have your cargo cover right here too. You have to press down on it. Build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Hard touch upper door panel, however, and mid door panel is wrapped in cloth, as well as the armrest. Now, you can get a panoramic sunroof on the SportWagen here, and many trim levels do come with it. Now sitting back here, there's not that much rear seat legroom. It's kind of cramped back here, to be honest. I have the driver's seat to where mine would be at. I'm about 6 feet tall. But there's plenty of headroom in this vehicle. The rear seats are pretty comfortable themselves and a little on the firm side, but they do provide a decent amount of support. You do have dual map pockets and rear seat air vents back here. And then you also do have a rear center armrest with cup holders and a little mini cup holder right here too, and then a ski trunk pass-through. Very nice. However, if you are looking for more rear seat space for your occupants, then you may want to look at a larger crossover. Alright. Manual driver's seat adjustments for the passenger side and power recline. Goes your glove box compartment, nice and damp. And lined with felt, very surprised there. So the 2016 Volkswagen Golf SportWagen is an excellent alternative to the everyday ho-hum crossover, with its cavernous cargo space, its upscale interior, and its fuel-efficient and powerful powertrains. However, if you are looking for all-wheel drive, then you may have to go with a crossover. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.